We are eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you, because if it matters to you, it matters to all that is. Your life has caused you to focus, and that's really what we're going to be talking about here today, isn't it? Focus. It's all about focus. It's all about what you are giving your attention to and what you are giving your attention to in vibrational relationship to how the source within you feels as the source within you gives its attention to what you're giving your attention to. What you're giving your attention to. We're glad you liked that. We like it too, because the source within you is giving its attention to what you are giving your attention to, but may have a different frequency or a different opinion about it. In other words, the source within you loves everyone you hate. We know it's annoying. Esther spends a little bit of time trying to convince us that we're wrong from time to time. Really, you may not know all of the details. But the source within you is aware of what you're aware of and has a frequency that is being offered, and we want you to know it's the dominant frequency. It's the frequency that will survive your physical death. Didn't mean to bring that up, but it will. It will survive. That leading edge part of you will survive when you reemerge into non-physical. And so we just want you to know that you can have your blending with that right here, right now, on the subjects, in the conversations, in the moments that are most important to you, right here, right now. That's what you really want. You said, I'll go forth into a physical environment and I will explore it to my fullest capacity. That's what you said. We told you we would remind you. It's annoying now, we know. I will explore it to my fullest capacity, and in doing so, I will become aware of what could be better about that specific thing in this specific instance. And when that awareness of what I don't want is vivid within me, I know, you said, because you knew, that in knowing what I don't want, that a clear awareness of what is wanted would be born at the same time. And isn't that always the way that it is? Don't you always know more clearly what you do want when you're right smack dab in the middle of what you don't want? Isn't that when it becomes clear? Now you don't do, we love you very much. You know there's something coming after those words. We love you very much. You don't do a very good job of being a vibrational match to what you do want when you're just experiencing what you don't want, because what you don't want has your, in many cases, full attention. Your physical, human, undivided attention. And often, in speaking about what you want, even though you're using positive sounding words and maybe even smiling as you say them, as you're talking about what you want, often the reason that you want it is because you don't like not having it. And so your words, but more important, your vibration is all laced with the absence of what you want. And you just can't allow what you want into your experience when you are vividly active in the vibration of what you don't want. It just doesn't work that way. And you can't speak enough words or pull enough strings or influence enough people through your pulling of strings and offering of words to buck your own current. And it is your own current that we're talking about here. The current between you and you. The vibrational alignment or resistance between who you really are and who you're letting yourself be right here, right now, in this moment of the emotion. So, in wanting you to understand this, we began by saying, you know, you are more than you see, and many of you said, okay. And then we said, and you create your own reality. Seth coined those words, and many of you said, yes. And then you said, yes. We create our own reality? That seems like responsibility. And I'm certain that I wouldn't create this reality, this specific thing, because I don't want it. Why would I create something unwanted? And we say, we didn't say that you create it on purpose. We said you create it. You create it by your attention, by your focus, by your vibrational stance, by your point of attraction. Because whatever you're giving your attention to has a vibrational frequency. And as you focus upon it, you offer that frequency. You become that frequency. It becomes your point of attraction. And law of attraction answers your point of attraction with other things like it. So when you're knowing what you don't want, law of attraction is saying, well, you might not like this too, here. Oh, you might not like this either, here. How's it going? Want some more? How about this? How about this? Now, the wonderful thing about that is, in knowing what you don't want, you're launching these rockets of what you do want. But the question that we want to put to you is, how long will it be once you've launched that rocket of desire before you become aware that you're not lined up with it and you make some effort to become a vibrational match to it? And that really is what the art of allowing is all about. It's about you allowing yourself to be a vibrational match, not just to what you want, but that's a big thing, but to who you have become as a result of wanting it, who you really have become as a result of the contrast that has caused you to become it. So we've been saying to you, some of you liked the analogy, that all of this desire is gathered in what we've been calling a vortex of creation. It's the vibrational version that exists before it manifests into your experience. And we've been saying things to you like, when you're in the vortex, when you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, when you're up to speed, when you're a vibrational match to this vortex, then you feel wonderful because there's no resistance within you that is complicating things, that is contradicting things, that is adding static to the equation. You're in the vortex. You feel wonderful. It was such a good analogy. We wrote some books about it. Get in the vortex, get in the vortex, get in the vortex. You finally sent out a collective cry. How? Where is it? I can't see it. It's an imaginary circle that you draw in the air. What is this vortex? And we say it's this conceptual but real, vibrational state of being. And today we're wanting to say to you that you've accumulated enough in this vortex to keep yourselves busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. Really. It's time to get in there and cash in your chips. And so now we're explaining to you, and it's sort of where we started many years ago, but with more vivid explanation, and you're getting it in a more powerful way. We want you today and forevermore, which is forever, your eternal beings, to focus upon your point of attraction. Your point of attraction. And by that we mean, let's clarify it, your point of manifestation. Now, your point of attraction has already occurred. You sifted and declared, you sifted the contrast and came to conclusions. You launched these rockets and they exist. You have created a vibrational reality. You have. But you want, it's the reason you're here in these bodies, you want the manifested version of it. You don't want a virtual lover. We know you don't. You don't want virtual money. You want the spendable kind. And so the way it moves from that vibrational place into your manifested experience, where you can explore the deliciousness of it, the specifics of it, and where maybe even others who are sharing your time-space reality may witness your creation of it. In order to do that, you have to take personal, deliberate control of your grid, of your point of attraction. So as we use the word grid today, and we will, a lot, what we're talking about is your point of attraction. And your point of attraction is happening all the time, whether you know that it is or not. In other words, whatever you've been giving your attention to, you've offered a vibration about, and as you offer a vibration about it, law of attraction makes it easier to offer more vibrations about it. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. And the beliefs that you hold make up the grid that you've got going on. Now we want to call your attention to this non-physical part of you, this source energy part of you, because that source energy part of you has a grid going on too. And the goal, what you really want, what you want to do in any moment in time, is to focus in such a way that causes you to offer a vibrational output, which causes you to create a point of attraction, which we are calling your grid, a grid that lines up with the grid of the source within you. And when all of that energy is flowing right up from the core of who you are, now you have power. Now you have clarity. Now you are frisky. Now you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Now you have vitality. Now you have clarity. Now you have all of those things. And the most important thing is that in that alignment with all that you are, your point of attraction, the evidence of it is wonderful to behold. Because when you click in with all of those things that you've been putting into your vortex, then in a meaningful, comfortable, logical, sequential, path of least resistance way, everything that you want to its smallest detail flows into your experience in what you experience as the next logical step. It's just the next logical step. Not something that you're going nuts about. It's the next logical step. If you're in the vibrational vicinity of who you really are, then the next logical step is for it to manifest. And we want to appeal to your logic, and then we're going to throw it open for you to talk about whatever you want to talk about. But we want to appeal to your logic about your grid and about the movement of all that you've been gathering, that has been assembled, and that the cooperative components are already gathered around, about the movement of all of this wonderful stuff that you've created flowing into your manifested experience. We want to remind you that you don't want to eat all of the food that you will eat in this lifetime today. You want to eat some of it today, but you want it to come incrementally so that you can savor it and enjoy it, yes? And the same with the contents of your vortex. You don't want it all today. You think you do. Especially those things that you're standing in conscious awareness of the absence of. Oh, Abraham, I'll just take this and this and this and this and this today. And we say, it's coming. It's coming at the speed and in the frequency and in the path of least resistance, in complete and utter and only response to your vibrational tending to your grid, to your point of attraction. We think you've got it. We've enjoyed this interaction more than you know, more than you can know, because you can't stand in the precise vibration of that which we are in your physical form. You can come close so that you can feel it in general terms. You can feel the exhilaration that we felt. You can feel the appreciation that we feel for you. You can feel the anticipation that we feel for you. So you're getting a general sense of what it is like for us to anticipate what's coming for you. But our appreciation of you is significant because we are focused upon your willingness to come into an environment where you're willing to explore the combinations of creators, the circumstances of events, some of them wanted and some of them not wanted. And you're willing to give birth to new desires. You're willing to allow yourself to want beyond what you're currently experiencing. And then, for those like you, you're willing to do something even more. You're not only willing to expose yourself to the contrast that causes you to give birth to new ideas, not just new to you, but new to all that is. You're willing to participate in a forum where you can begin to consciously contemplate personal vibrational maneuvering, personal vibrational focusing. You're willing to care about how you feel and willing to think because you want to establish a feeling from the thought. That's a significant difference in the way much of the world is approaching life, because most of the world is thinking its way through and comparing the thoughts one to another, but not using guidance system to acknowledge how this thought that just occurred because of something I read or something that someone said or something that I saw on television, how it fits into the greater scheme of things, or more important, in the greater scheme of who I am. So as we play with you and we hear you expressing the things that are important to you, and we acknowledge that even before you got here, that you had put all kinds of things into your vortex. And then we know for sure that as a result of this brief time, far more than 17 seconds, far more than 68 seconds, that you allowed yourself to release enough resistance that the vibrational frequency of that which is you has raised significantly enough to allow some of the things that are in your vortex to immediately flow into your grid in a way that you will not be able to miss it. It thrills us to know that today and tomorrow and the next day, you'll be making the conscious association about what happened, which means you've just stepped into the arena of deliberate.